now.
Washington came first and he was perfect. John Adams had a civil war with France. Jefferson signed the Louisiana Purchase. In 1812, James Madison kicked the British in the face.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Colin Show. Today we are going to learn about the U.S. president. Oh, and speaking of Dad, where is he?
Hey!
Oh, there he is. Oh my gosh.
Hi everyone, how you doing? Welcome. Second show. You feeling good? You feeling confident?
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
We are talking about the U.S. presidents.
United States presidents. What an interesting subject. How many are there?
45.
45. You got it. All right, number one. Who's that guy?
George Washington. I already know him.
I bet you have some facts about George.
Okay.
What can you tell me about George Washington?
Tell me if this fact is true or not. George Washington was the only president to have false teeth.
I know he had false teeth. I'm not sure if any others did. John Adams.
Ooh, I know him, but I don't really know any facts about him.
Okay. He was a Federalist. He was from Massachusetts.
My turn about Thomas Jefferson, and I know a fact about him. He was the first president to have his feet dipped in cold water.
Feet dipped in cold water. For what purpose?
I don't know, but it wasn't my book. It wasn't my book.
He had a foot bath.
Oh, no.
That's a good fact. He made the Louisiana Purchase. That's a good Jefferson fact. Okay, James Madison. What do we know about James Madison? Well, you have a friend named Madison.
James Marine, did he fight a war in Florida?
Boy, I don't know. There's a picture of Florida next to him. James Monroe. He founded the Monroe Doctrine, which is American hegemony in the Western Hemisphere, and detachment from European affairs.
Next we have John Quincy Adams. I know nothing about him, so Daddy's gonna have 2 facts about him, and that's all I have.
John Quincy Adams, his dad was president. He was the son of John Adams. So father and son, both president. And
I know a fact about. Now we have Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson was on the $20 bill.
That's an Andrew Jackson fact. That's probably the least offensive Andrew Jackson fact out there.
Martin Van Buren.
Martin Van Buren.
I know nothing about him.
The 8th president. Martin Van Buren was an abolitionist. That was also the day Michael Giants song.
Weird.
All right, William Henry Harrison. You know what? I bet you don't have any facts about William Henry Harrison. You want to know why?
Yep.
Because he died like 20 or 30 days into his presidency. Crazy.
Wait, what if he died on the day he became president?
I think he did. It was on his inauguration day.
It was like, hey everybody, I am president. Oh no, I got shot by a gun. I died.
I think it was like it was a really cold day on his inauguration. He gave a really long speech, and then he got the pneumonia, and then he died. So,
Okay.
not much to know about William Henry Harrison. Pretty much. Short-lived guy. John Tyler.
Nothing about him.
I believe he was in charge of annexing Texas. That's about all I know about him. I know
a fact about James K. Polk. I know one. He fought a war in California.
Yes. I think that... Well, there's a whole song by the Nickel Giants about James K. Polk, and it was 54-40 or fight. He got English to sell the Oregon Territory to the United States, which became part of California.
Speaking of songs, my dad's going to sing a song about the United presidents, which it's going to take a little bit longer than Around the World did, but that's okay with us, right?
Sure.
Yeah, it's totally...
All right.
Where were we at?
Zachary Taylor.
Nothing about him.
Old Rough and Ready.
Nothing
he
about
was a military general guy, and he died very, very early in his presidency too. Got sick, died. Not much.
There's a president coming up that I know about.
Okay.
You're maybe not gonna
Millard
guess.
Fillmore, really nothing. He's actually the most forgettable president.
Franklin Pierce.
Let's go to Franklin Pierce. Yes.
He fought a war in New Orleans.
The Battle of New Orleans.
Yes.
I think that was part of the War of 1812. if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
I read that in a big name book.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Now we have James Buchanan, and I know
James B.
nothing about him. Nothing.
He presided over the secession crisis.
Know nothing about him.
And was very unpopular, didn't really do much during the secession crisis, and then the Civil War started, and who became president then? Who's that guy?
Abraham Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
He is actually my second most favorite one, and, well, yeah, some of you might think that I love George Washington second, but nope. Abraham Lincoln stomped on his head and took away it and put it on his head.
Wow, big Lincoln fan over here.
Was he the only president born in a log house?
He was born in a log cabin,
Ew, I almost got that wrong.
and
He was the only president to keep letters in his hat.
okay, letters in his hat. All right, did he free anybody? Or make anybody free?
Yes.
Awkward.
Andrew Johnson. I know nothing about Andrew Johnson. Hey guys, here's a fact. I know nothing about Andrew Johnson.
Andrew Johnson, not a great guy. He was a Southerner that Lincoln put on the ticket, took over when Lincoln got shot, and got impeached, and let white supremacist terrorists take over the South. So,
Useless S. Grant.
Ulysses S. Grant was not useless. He was good. He was a general from the Civil War. He played a strong role in Reconstruction in the South, and was a generally pretty good guy, I think.
Okay, we're for lad B. Hayes.
Rutherford B. Hayes. Don't know much about him. Took
No,
over after
Weaver.
Grant, and I think he kind of wound down Reconstruction in not
There's
a very
one.
good way. Okay. James A. Garfield.
The only president to become a cat.
He became a cat, yes.
Yeah, he's Garfield.
He
He's
is
Garfield.
Garfield. Yep.
He's Garfield.
He became a cat. He also was assassinated. He was shot in 1881
He is a cat.
and perished. And was replaced by
Chester A. Arthur.
Chester A. Arthur. He suspended Chinese immigration. The Chinese Exclusion Act, I believe, was signed by
Here's a
Chester A.
fact.
Arthur. Not a very great moment
Here's
in
a
American
fact.
history.
I know
Yeah.
nothing about Chester A. Arthur, and that's a fact.
All right. What's Grover Cleveland?
I have a fact.
You got a fact.
He was the only president to become the president twice.
There it is. 2 non-consecutive terms.
And
Grover
he
Cleveland.
was the president on the $100 bill.
No, I think Ben
Yes, he
Franklin
is.
is on the $100 bill.
No, see?
Look at that, there is. Huh.
How dare you steal Ben Franklin's money?
Isn't Ben Franklin on the $100?
How dare you?
Franklin's on
How
the
dare
$100. Maybe I'm
you?
wrong. All right.
How dare you?
How
dare you?
All right, Benjamin Harrison. Don't really know much about him. He kind of became
Skip, skip,
All right, well-
skip. Yeah.
All right, William McKinley.
William
He's a
McKinley.
happy-looking guy.
No, he isn't.
Yeah, he looks pretty stern.
He's a big fat guy who shut up his mouth and was nothing like a happy guy like lollipops,
Probably.
rainbows, unicorns.
That picture behind him is Denali in Alaska. It's the biggest mountain, and they renamed it after him, Mount McKinley. Although it should be, I think now they call it Denali again.
Theodore
His last
Roosevelt.
names.
Theodore Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt. What's he holding in his hand?
A teddy bear. He
What
was the
Teddy
president.
bear named after?
Theodore Roosevelt.
Teddy Roosevelt. There you go.
William Taft was the only president to not fit in the U.S. White House bathtub.
He was big boy. Legend has it they had to have a special bathtub made for him.
Woodrow Wilson.
Woodrow Wilson. Well, he was president during World War I. Founded the League of Nations, I believe.
Calvin Coolidge was the only guy to become a guy with spiky hair.
Yes. We skipped Warren Harding, though.
Calvin.
Warren G. Harding. Another
Oh, and if you're wondering, we actually have a guy named Colin that we like. It's a book drawn by
Bill Watterson.
Bill Watson. Watson.
Okay, Warren G. Harding. He died early. Not much going on to him. Yes, Calvin Coolidge, I guess. Actually, Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes is not named after Calvin Coolidge.
You know.
He's named after John Calvin, a theologian. Okay, Herbert Hoover. The Great Depression kind of happened on his watch, and nobody liked how he responded.
Daddy,
kicked him out on the curb and replaced him with, who's that next guy?
Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He did the New Deal and rescued the American economy and passed a lot of the great social programs we had, the Works Progress Administration, and so on. And he did it all while he was in a wheelchair. There's Harry Truman. What does that say? The buck stops here. That was his famous saying. Dwight D. Eisenhower. When he was leaving, he warned people about the military-industrial complex. We did not listen to him. John F. Kennedy. What do you know about John F. Kennedy?
He was the first president to walk on the moon.
Yes, they put him in a space shuttle and they shot
You know
him
what?
up to the moon.
I actually didn't even know that. I guessed.
I know, actually, I'm joking. He didn't actually go to the moon. They don't put presidents on the moon. No president has ever been to the moon before. But he did found the space program. Lyndon Baines Johnson. Right there.
Nothing about him. Nothing about him. Nothing about him.
He signed the Great Society legislation, Medicare, Civil Rights Act, largely due to social movements that he wasn't a part of.
Hey, where are we on?
We'll talk about that
Where are we on?
We are on Richard Nixon.
I have no idea where he is.
He's right down here.
Okay.
He's right in front of the Great Wall of China in that picture, because he did open up relations with China. And
The most popularist country in the world.
yes. And he resigned because he was kind of a bad boy. Gerald Ford is the next president. He was a football player in college.
Was he the only football player?
That's a good question. I think Teddy Roosevelt played football.
Okay.
And I'm sure some of these other guys played football. I think Harry Truman played football. I was looking at that. Jimmy Carter.
He was the only president to report seeing a UFO.
Where did you read about that? I'd like to hear more about that story. That's not one I'm familiar with.
Oh, well, it's a book at school, but since we have the virus, I can't bring it home.
Okay. Well, Jimmy Carter saw a UFO. Ronald Reagan.
No idea.
Me neither. Who's next? George H.W. Bush.
No idea.
George Herbert Walker Bush. Well, he fought in World War II. Who's that next guy? With the saxophone.
I can't read.
Bill Clinton. You know any facts about Bill Clinton?
The only president who played the saxophone.
Maybe. We'd have to look that one up, but he definitely played the saxophone. All right, next guy is George W. Bush.
The only guy to become in 1899 and have chopsticks like this.
I'm not familiar with
Like that.
Oh, boy, this is kind of grim. I think that's a picture of the Twin Towers.
Barack Obama, the only president who was not born in the mainland of the United States. He was born in Hawaii, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, all right. Well, we've gone through 44 presidents. And then we're on to our latest president.
Yep.
We can talk about him later.
And
Maybe
guys,
we'll do our whole own episode on it.
Yeah, and guys, we have no idea what we're doing next. We're still brainstorming. Yeah.
All right. We'll tell the people thanks for watching, and we'll see them
Thanks for watching,
next
guys.
episode. William Henry Harrison died early. Tyler Reddick's Texas from Mexico. James K. Polk fought Mexico to keep it. Taylor was a Mexican war hero. Fillmore gave a boat to Commodore Perry. Pierce repealed the Missouri Compromise. Buchanan saw the Civil War beginning. Lincoln saved the Union, then he died.